Allie Mudano reporting from Davenport Beach Club in New Rochelle, where Mayor Noam Bramson has delivered his State of the City address. Optimism filled the room tonight as Mayor Bramson detailed what he says will be a new season of possibility and promise.
I am confident that the City Council will look favorably upon agreements with every one of our unions that honor the same spirit of shared purpose. By asking not what's in it for me, but rather what's in it for all of us, we can have a healthier city in which labor, management, and the people we serve together all move forward.
The mayor touched on education, upcoming restaurant openings, snow removal success, and his plans to strengthen partnerships with our region, with the labor force, and ultimately with the state of New York. Iona College's Richard Giacovas caught up with some key players in New Rochelle, including the mayor, following his speech.
I'm Richard Giacovas here with Eli Gordon, the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. You had the honor of introducing Mayor Bramson tonight ahead of the State of the City address.
Yes, and we've done that for many years. This is not the first dinner we've had where we introduced the mayor. We've introduced him 3 years previously. So it's one of the services that we provide to the city and to the mayor so he can do the state of the city and let the constituents know how he's doing and how the city is doing, which is very important.
Right, and overall, the speech as a whole, how did you feel about it?
It's always optimistic, and I'm a perpetual optimist, so, I mean, it's good. There are things that the city has suffered in the past, but hopefully everybody's coming together now and are going to make things happen, specifically Echo Bay, and just building up the infrastructure in the city and bringing more businesses to downtown and to the other pockets of New Rochelle as well, because the city is not just downtown. We have 4 other pockets in the city, and we should consider them also when there's growth and things to do. It's a wonderful city. I mean, when you have the 3 colleges, you also have the water, the Sound Shore. We also have the access to the city, which is only a 25-minute ride. So a lot of people work in the city, come live over here. And so it's a great place to be. It's very central. It's very easy to get around. And the ethnic diversity is fabulous, which is something to consider in what the country is today and where it's going. This is really the place to be.
Tell us a little bit about the public library, and the mayor mentioned it in his speech tonight.
He did. We were really pleased. Thank you, Richard. The public library is an important part of the community, both in terms of the cultural and educational elements that we're able to share with our citizens. We're one of the busiest public libraries in the county. We're dedicated to first quality customer service, and we're proud to serve our residents and to help however possible. Right.
Hana, what is your role in this? How do you feel about what he's saying about the library? You're Board of Trustees, so.
Yes, and I'm a volunteer, and it is a very volunteer-driven library because we are a public library, and we're very proud of that.
What stood out to you of Mayor Bramson's speech?
Well, what I liked about Mayor Bramson's speech is that he talked about the status quo, the state of the city today, but he also looked towards the future and all the great things that New Rochelle has to look forward to. And he really focused on the resources, both human and otherwise, that makes New Rochelle the special place that it is.
And the night was not without opposition, which came from Republican city officials of New Rochelle.
Well, I feel that I've been on council for 5 years. The city has not progressed over the last 5 years. We've run into a financial crisis over the last 4 or 5 years. It's a result of the economy, but the city has not done things, I feel, to focus on retail to get revenue into the city. The mayor talked tonight about Echo Bay, talked about the city yard move. But Forest City, who's going to develop Echo Bay, is seeking a 20-year tax abatement. And with the move of the city yard, it's going to cost roughly about $1.7 million a year for a 20-year bond. And when you take Forest City's project and you take the revenue it's going to bring in, the net result is that the taxpayers will be paying about $800,000 a year for 20 years in order to subsidize this development. That's not the way to develop the city. We're increasing the population. We're affecting our schools. We're adding more children to our school system, and we're netting out a negative increase in the revenue. And ultimately, this burden falls on the taxpayers. It has over the last several years, and it's going to continue to do so until the city changes its policy and focuses on retail and commercial development.
I thought it was fabulous. It's really exciting. It's really exciting being on council and working with Mayor Bramson. There are a lot of really great things going forward in the city, and it's really nice to see how the city is moving forward in a great direction.
What stood out to you most?
I really like the intermunicipal endeavors that we're doing, reaching out to other municipalities to see how we can, conserve money and actually improve some of our services.
I'm here with Mayor Noam Bramson, who just wrapped up his State of the City speech. You started tonight, and after about 3 minutes into the speech, you made a little lighthearted joke where you said, thank you and good night because of all the accolades that this city has accomplished. How proud are you of this city?
I think this is a great community. It always has been, even in times of challenge. The spirit of the people of New Rochelle is something extraordinary, and we love the fact that this is a diverse city which welcomes every sort of person. But I think tonight there's even greater reason for optimism than usual because we have overcome a great number of challenges, and there's a sense now really of possibility and promise, which lets us look forward with a sense of confidence.
Right. And you said, one of the notes you said, better service for less money. So how does that translate into the workforce?
Well, if we want to make government more efficient and effective and smart, there are several things we have to do. Some of them are things we can do internally. It's use the web more effectively, really make determinations about which priorities are essential and which are not. But there are other things that require partnerships, and that's something I spoke about quite a bit in the speech. Partnerships on a regional basis to share services so that we can have a lower per unit cost and enjoy economies of scale. Partnerships with labor so that we can have reasonable contracts that are reflective of the times in which we live, and partnerships with the state because many of the constraints that municipalities confront are really a function of state policy.
And part of that is the inclusivity, which you said it's more about the we than the me, correct?
Yeah, and I think that's true not just of public policy challenges, but of almost anything we do in life. To the extent that we recognize we're all in this together, we're all going up or down together, and to the extent that we look at our problems and our opportunities through that lens, I think we're all better off.
You say you want to bring New Rochelle back as the Queen of the Sound. What does that mean?
Well, for those who don't know, Queen City of the Sound is a slogan, a name that's attached to New Rochelle for many, many decades. And we've been working very hard in recent years to revitalize the Echo Bay waterfront, which right now is contaminated, completely inaccessible to the community, and to make it into something of which we can be proud, a wonderful mixed-use showcase with parkland and shoreline promenade. And so I think creating physical and economic and environmental assets like that, which take advantage of the water, really earn that name, Queen City of the Sound, and that's the point that I was making.
Yes. I did have to mention, there was an open letter published in Patch and the Daily Voice by a New Rochelle resident. The resident said that having this speech at this shore club kind of distanced you from people that could have maybe gone to the public library and seen it. How would you respond to criticism that says this was kind of a disconnect?
Well, it's been a long-standing tradition, which long predates my term as mayor and probably my predecessor going back many, many years, to have the Chamber of Commerce be the sponsor of the State of the City. In fact, this is a Chamber of Commerce event, not a City of New Rochelle event. However, it's very important to point out, and we always stress this when we invite people, that anyone who wants to attend can attend for free. There's a dinner, exactly, and there's a dinner prior to the event, which is completely optional. But we would never want the community to feel in any way excluded from something like this, which is an important civic function. And for those who can't be here, of course, there's a recording that's available on the web. So this is, in every way, I think, every way that counts, it really is a public event.
Mayor Bramson concluded his remarks tonight by saying a season of challenge is ending, a season of opportunity is beginning, which resulted in a standing ovation from the crowd. Reporting from Iona College, I'm Allie Mudano.